People, when they're thinking about a school like us or any other place, ask themselves a very simple question. Why? Why Delbarton as opposed to someplace else? So we want to answer that question by first telling you what Delbarton is. Delbarton is a Benedictine Catholic college preparatory school for young men. And I'd like to unpack each element of that description. Anyone who wants to know whether Delbarton is the right school for a young man should get a sense of our character, our identity and mission, the impact we hope to have on our students, and the effect we hope our students will have on their communities and our nation. First and foremost, Delbarton is a Catholic school. Delbarton School exists to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ and to form our young men as disciples of Jesus and brothers in the Lord by educating them in mind, body, and spirit. Our Catholic faith is essential to all aspects of school life. It is not a pillar of our school. Instead, it is the foundation on which all other pillars of Delbarton School's identity and mission stand. If we were not a Catholic school, we would not be Delbarton. If the fact that Delbarton is so essentially a Catholic school is something that a prospective family would perhaps accept or put up with or set aside for the sake of some other benefit of coming to Delbarton, that would be getting our whole purpose backwards. At the same time, and with equal conviction, we welcome students and families of any religious faith to join our community and to enrich it, should they wish to embrace and support our school's Catholic character, identity, and mission. But Delbarton is not just any Catholic school. We are a Benedictine school. The monks of St. Mary's Abbey, as Mr. Ross pointed out, just up the hill from here, live together and live the Christian life according to the way of the rule for monks of St. Benedict of Nursia, a 6th century monk and saint. The rule that guides the monks' community life is also the source of a 1,500-year Catholic liberal arts tradition that animates hundreds of Benedictine schools worldwide. So what is a Benedictine Catholic school? To answer that question, we look to the Gospels of the New Testament and to St. Benedict's rule for monks. Men and women live the Christian life by following St. Benedict's rule to achieve what he calls conversatio morum, a phrase that's difficult to translate into English, but can loosely be rendered conversion of manners or conversion of life. Conversatio morum is a transformative turning away from the old man of sin and selfishness into the new man who imitates Christ and learns to love God joyfully and freely. Thus, a Benedictine school like Delbarton should also be a place of profound and thoroughgoing transformation for each of its students, a place where young men are known, loved, and called to greatness. So what does it mean to say that Delbarton is a place of transformation? Spiritually, Delbarton should be a school where young men learn who they are and what they are called to be as sons of God in a Christian community of joy and mutual self-giving. Delbarton should be a place where a boy's faith, whatever that may be, becomes the faith of a man, a mature, free embrace of his relationship with God. Intellectually, Delbarton should be a school where students develop critical adult intelligence. Delbarton students should learn to create and consume knowledge, discern the true, the good, and the beautiful in the modern marketplace of ideas, and express their learning clearly and persuasively, both orally and in writing. Physically, Delbarton should be a place where students learn to balance their lives between activity and leisure. Our students should strive for a life animated by the healthy development of body, mind, and spirit. Emotionally, Delbarton is a school where students learn to identify and embrace their inner emotional selves. They should realize that their feelings are sources of critical wisdom about themselves, and, as a result, adopt a fundamentally empathic stance towards everyone they encounter. For in them, in others, they encounter Christ. What does it mean to say that Delbarton is a college preparatory school? As many of you likely already know very well, the world of higher education and professional life in the United States is changing at a pace greater than ever before. Any school that claims to prepare students for college and the professional world beyond must respond to this increasingly dynamic reality. While Delbarton's academic program is deeply rooted in the Catholic liberal arts tradition that our Benedictine forebears shaped over 1,500 years, we also consistently look to the horizon to ensure that what we teach and how we teach are best suited to our students' needs today and truly prepare them for life beyond Delbarton. Today, when you visit our academic departments, college counseling, underclassmen guidance, or our arts, student activities, and athletics presentations, you will learn firsthand from our students and staff how we balance our tradition with today's needs and tomorrow's anticipated demands. What does it mean to say that Delbarton is a school for young men? We are not a school for young men by an accident of history. We choose to be such a school because we are convinced that our history, dating back to 1939 and the 1,500-year Benedictine tradition, provide us with important insights into how to help boys grow into young men of faith, intellect, and service. In a word, we get boys at Delbarton. In a society where what it means to be a good man is less clearly defined than ever before, the staff here at Delbarton is especially equipped and trained to be attentive to the needs of young men as they navigate these critical years of their development. So in these remarks, I've attempted to convey to you Delbarton's identity, mission, and vision for our students clearly and concisely. It's really hard to do in 10 minutes. Our vision for Delbarton is inseparable from our Catholic and Benedictine identity and mission. Yet it also welcomes those of all faiths who see its meaning and choose to embrace and contribute to it. Our vision for Delbarton fires the good zeal, to use another Benedictine notion, of our extraordinarily gifted faculty and staff to create a school culture and climate that makes real our mission and vision for each young man. Our vision for Delbarton builds a bond of lifetime brotherhood, and we want to pass that on to our younger brothers in the student body. Our vision for Delbarton is, we believe, sufficiently ambitious to be worth the tremendous investment and sacrifice families make in sending their sons here. In a moment, you'll soon have the opportunity to hear our students' stories and learn about their Delbarton experiences in response to your questions. I hope you glean many insights into what makes Delbarton such an extraordinary young place for a boy to learn and grow. Thank you again for joining us today. I hope you enjoy your visit here as much as we do in welcoming you.
So now comes the fun part of the program, where you watch me try to navigate technology while I switch from one thing to the next. In the meantime, guys, if you wouldn't mind joining me on stage, just so you know, these are 5 of our students, and it's the best group we've ever had because 2 of them are named Jake. So give me 1 second. Like I said, all right. There we go. Come on. Sorry about this, everyone. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect this because you guys all in your program you have where to text the numbers. I am unable to get to the screen I need because I screwed up technology. But let's just start with a question. Before that, if you guys wouldn't mind, there's 2 microphones in between you. Turn them on. You pass those next to each, back and forth. If we can, each of you, please introduce yourself, what grade you're in, what town you're from, and what is your favorite food at Delbarton?
Hello, my name is Thera Kandawal. I'm a senior now. God. I'm from Dover, and my favorite food here at Delbarton is probably the pesto pasta.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jake Caravello. I'm a junior here at Delbarton. What town I'm from Monroe, New Jersey. It's about an hour away from here. And in terms of my favorite food at Delbarton, probably the pork bao buns. Those are always very good.
My name is Andre Roberson. I'm a sophomore here at Delbarton, and I'm from Bayonne, New Jersey. And my favorite food is probably the pulled pork mac and cheese burritos.
Hello, my name is Jake Naughton. I'm from Berkeley Heights, New Jersey, and I'd say my favorite food is General Tso's chicken, which we had a few days ago. That was really good.
Hello, I'm John Kinney. I'm from Chester, New Jersey, and I'd say my favorite food is probably also the pesto.
What was that? Sorry, I couldn't hear.
The pesto.
Oh, okay. All right, so like I said, thank you for those who sent in your questions already. One of the first questions they asked was, and we'll start out with something simple. You guys all have been here for months to 4 years. What's one thing you would change?
I think that's a really good question. If anything, one thing I'd change is I would really try to get students involved a lot more at Delbarton. I think that there are so many great activities we have and that the school offers, but I really do think that in terms of having students being able to stay after school a lot more, I think that there are so many great things we have in terms of just sports and as well as other extracurricular activities like robotics and forensics, but if there's one thing I would change, I would maybe invest a lot more in those activities that we have. Our athletic program is extremely strong, but I also think that there are a lot of other great things that make Delbarton a truly special school. And I think that if there's one thing I change, that's really a hard question, but just bolstering those things that we already have, investing more in them, seeing a lot more students join those activities.
Anybody else?
The vending machines are way too overpriced. $5 for a bag of beef jerky just seems unreasonable to me. So I know that you got to make money. They restock 7 vending machines in 2 days, so it's definitely working, but that's probably what I would change.
He's not kidding. Possibly the most popular person in this school is the guy who restocks the vending machines when he gets here every other day. Thank you, guys. So go think back when you first started here. What's one of the first things that surprised you most when you started at Delbarton?
Going back freshman year, one of the most surprising things was how friendly the people were. I never knew, no one, freshman year, I knew not a single person, but once classes started, after a week, I was friends with everyone. We all had a great time together in our classes. We built relationships, and some of those relationships I still have to this day, so yeah.
I think one of the most surprising things for me as a freshman, so as I said, I'm from Bayonne, which is about an hour from here. It's next to Jersey City. So for me, it was the time management skills that you need, because the first 2 weeks is when they get you. You think it's really easy, and then right after that, you just get a buttload of work. So yeah, I think that's the most challenging, like doing work on the bus at 6:30 in the morning, like just stuff like that, just prioritizing your schoolwork over everything else.
All right. What made you choose Delbarton over other schools you might have been considering?
So something I did and something that I hope every single one of the applicants looking at Delbarton does, you should choose 3 to 4 things that you are looking for from a school, focus on those, and choose the school that those things apply to. For me, I wanted a school with a good community, check. Delbarton has a wonderful community. The brotherhood here is spectacular. You're friends with everybody. It's wonderful. 2, the campus, for me. It's really, really hard to find a campus that's more beautiful than the one at Delbarton. You walk around, it may be rainy, it may be disgusting outside, but it looks gorgeous. 3rd, character. I wanted a school with a lot of character, and you spend any time on campus, you'll know Delbarton has a ton of character. If you should go to one of our football games, see the pit. There's so much energy. And 4, I was raised Catholic, so a Catholic school was something that was really important to me. So choose something and choose 3 to 4 things that you want to focus on for a school, and I'm pretty sure Delbarton will check most, if not all, of those boxes.
Anybody else? Go ahead, John. Hold that up to your face a little bit.
When choosing Delbarton, I think you should think about the religion and like you also said, character. Everyone's more serious, but they can turn it down and be fun and friendly. And religion's a big thing. You learn to be more Catholic and a better person. Yeah.
Good, thank you. It is a big campus. You guys have addressed that. Multiple people addressed that. What's your
Senior, my favorite spot's definitely the senior commons. It's a space designed only for the seniors, and most of the time during our free blocks or after school, we're in the senior commons. There's like an Xbox and a Wii, and we just have fun, and we play. Sometimes we play pool in there. Yeah, so that's definitely my favorite spot this year.
Yeah, I'm not a senior, but I'm also gonna have to go with the senior commons because when everyone leaves, there's a couple of us left, we all just chill in there and play Xbox. But other than that, I think my favorite spot is Pizzo. Just the weight room in there is gorgeous, and I love everything about that field house, and it's perfect down to the last detail, so yeah.
I would probably say, in terms of my favorite spot, it would probably be Old Main, just a beautiful place on campus, definitely very eye-catching, and we do a lot of activities there, or, well, I would say a lot of important school events are held there. I know the Solidarity Sleep Out is held there. You guys are definitely going to see it a lot. It's just a beautiful place to be able to see that every day.
Thank you. What makes you the most proud about being a member of Delbarton?
In terms of what makes me most proud, I'd probably say the community. And I remember I was in your shoes once, and I know that we talk a lot about the brotherhood, and you might be a little bit, it might be a little bit new to you, but I really think that it's something that's genuine here at Delbarton. I came to the school knowing absolutely no one, and I think that I was really surprised just how you're able to strike up a conversation with really anyone. And so while we do have outstanding athletics, academics, I do think that I'm probably most proud of the community at Delbarton, how we all just get along, and it really is a brotherhood. And I think that that's probably something you're not going to get at any other school.
Yeah, I think my most proud part of being a part of Delbarton is, I'm gonna be honest, how famous it is. I've been to Florida, all around New Jersey, and like people recognize my shirt. I went to a spring training game to see Volpe play on the Yankees, and people were like, "Oh, you go to Delbarton? Oh, you go to here?" Taking pictures of my shirts. Yeah, so I think that part, and just seeing like how Delbarton has spread, just not even through New Jersey, but all over the East Coast.
So this is a question that I am terrified of. Obviously, there's been a lot of advancements in AI in the last year or so or more. How is AI dealt with, taught, or has it changed your experience as a student? I told you, I didn't script them at all.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So AI, it can be scary because obviously you don't want to get expelled for cheating on an assignment by putting something into chat. AI is useful for students when it comes to studying. And that's allowed in, I think, almost every single class. If you have a history test coming up, you can ask AI to make you a practice quiz. That's totally allowed, and that's actually very helpful. You don't want to overuse it, and always, I would say, ask a teacher before you use it, because there is always a gray area, and especially with how new the technology is, there's more of a gray area. So I'd say ask, but if we villainize AI, that's also not very good. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I'll just say each department, so like the religion department, the English department, math department, they have their own stance on the AI, like the kind of AI thing. I know in the math department, you can basically use AI to like give you practice problems, but for like the tests and stuff, if you use AI on your homework or like to like basically cheat on the test, like you'll know because the tests are on paper, you can't use AI in the tests, so you'll probably get a bad grade, and that's how you can't use AI to cheat because you won't know the material.
So one other thing that these guys may not know is AI is obviously something new and changing and getting bigger and better and badder. And we're trying to address that as we go. And one of the things we're going to be doing in the next month or so is we're actually creating a small committee of both faculty and students, because it is important that we understand as faculty how different things are used in this community and not just based on what we perceive them to be. So we're going to have kind of a joint committee to look at how we want to address AI moving forward. So it is a moving target. There is no great answer, but I think a lot of people can recognize that. A couple different questions have now asked about time management, doing all the things you do. And one thing I realized we didn't ask you is, what are some of the activities you guys are involved in? So if you wouldn't mind, just explaining maybe one or two of the activities you do here, and then how do you balance doing so much? Class starts at 8, last class ends at 2:45, and you're pretty much moving most of the day, right?
Like Andre said, the strategy for me has been to do my work in the car. I have about a 90-minute commute one way, and so I definitely take advantage of trying to do as much as I can in the car. In terms of what activities I do, I'm very involved in the forensics program, which is definitely one of our biggest activities. It's a lot of traveling, definitely a big time commitment to go to tournaments, speech and debate tournaments almost every weekend. But I do think that being able to do your work in the car is something that I've definitely taken advantage of, especially if you have a long commute. But I'd also say that it can be very stressful at times, and the teachers at Delbarton are more than happy to work with you. They totally understand that you have a lot going on, and I think that it's incredible. You can just walk up to a teacher, explain your situation, and they want to work with you because they know that you're involved, and they want you to contribute as much as you can to the community. And sometimes, yes, things get stressful, and you will get overloaded at times, but Delbarton is here to help you work through that.
Yeah, similar to what Jake said, I also have about a 90-minute commute. So like I said before, I try to work on the bus as much as possible. Also, use your homeroom times, and if you have any frees, use those up as much as possible. I know you're going to be tempted to like fall asleep, take a nap, just chill out, maybe play foosball, but no, you gotta get your work done. Just use that time as much as possible. And I also play baseball and football, so it's a little hard to manage the two of them because I'm busy in the fall and the spring. So yeah, just prioritize your academics and get as much done as you can throughout the day.
Yeah, I would say so. I play soccer here, and I also do a bunch of like clubs, like the Diversity Among Peers Club. So I'd say most of the time I spend is on the weekends, like going ahead on my homework and stuff, studying for tests, stuff like that. So during the weekdays, I'm not stressed. I'm not sleeping late. And I have time to do all my other activities.
I'd say my workload so far has been pretty manageable. I think for all incoming freshmen, the first month is probably more of like an adjustment time. So no matter where you are in your 8th grade year, you'll be able to hit the ground running and have a really good start to whatever year. So for my extracurriculars, I'm involved in the theater program. I've gotten involved in forensics and with the admissions department. Something I would say as a word of advice, don't be the kid that goes home at 2:45. Stay at school. Do something. Get involved. Whatever it is, anything. Is it a sport? Is it a club? An extracurricular? Is it going with a trainer? Anything. Don't be the kid that goes home at 2:45. You are able to be involved in so many different things. You have this world of opportunities at your fingertips. You need to act on it. And I think almost everybody at Delbarton does. There's not a lot of kids that go home at 2:45. So that's my advice, because I think that's the best way to achieve here.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you need to manage. There's homeroom and flex where you can get stuff done or talk to a teacher, and you might feel overwhelmed, but if you just manage your time, you're gonna be fine. I'm involved in Lego Club, which doesn't take up that much time, but you can still become involved. It's every Friday, 30 minutes before school. And get involved and do stuff, and don't be the one that doesn't do stuff.
John, since we have you on the mic, there's a question, a couple questions came up about being a middle schooler here. One of the questions, I'm combining a couple, but what's it like going to school where you're not in your own separate building? You're actually walking around with high schoolers who are 18 years old, some of whom are voting. Is it cool, intimidating? Do you interact with them much?
Yeah, so I remember in my first week of 7th grade, it was kind of scary, but then you get to start knowing them and talking to them, and they're really friendly and nice, and they'll help you out, give you rides to games, and they're all nice.
I think the 18-year-olds are the exact way as some 7th graders. So, they seem intimidating, but like once you get to know them, they're really chill, and you're like their little brother. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's cool. It's just like any other classmate. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to have all these older kids walking around. I think some of them need to invest more in a razor. Yeah, there's a lot of messy facial hair I see all the time. So that's definitely something. But it's really cool to have these older brothers walking around. They're always looking out for you. Yeah, it's really great.
So we have two guys who are commuting a good distance, and then people from varying towns. One of the questions asked, with so many people coming from so many different places, how do you stay connected with each other? How do you socialize if you're all coming from so far?
Snapchat. We all keep in contact. My parents, which I'm very grateful for, they drive me hour and a half to see my friends because they're all kind of scattered. But yeah, Snapchat is the way to go, or just get their numbers and just constantly stay in contact, help them with homework, and you never know, you give someone an answer to a homework, that might be your brother for life, so yeah.
Definitely a lot of the activities, you get to meet so many different people, and just staying after school, you get to have a lot of social interaction that way, and also just calling people. It's really easy to be able to stay connected with your friends at Delbarton, and especially if you're in like a sport or some activity like debate, you're always doing a lot. It's definitely a lot on your plate, and so, but you also get to spend a lot of time with your friends that way, so it all works out.
One question, kind of sticking with that, what kind of social opportunities are there here at school to interact with other girls and other schools, right? Are there any?
Yeah, I'll take this one. We have we have 3 sister schools, Villa Walsh, Oak Knoll, and St. Elizabeth's. This last Friday, we just had a sophomore social, and it's basically a bunch of girls come to the school, so guys, don't worry. And we all just hang out, have a good time. Freshmen and sophomores, we have a semi in December, and it's kind of like a younger version of prom. You can bring a girl with you, and it's just lots of fun.
Yeah, I'd say don't worry about it. You're gonna have tons of opportunities to meet girls. Like we just had the freshman fall festival, like you just said. Yeah, I have like 6 friends who are telling me, oh my God, I met this girl and she's talking to me now, and I'm like, okay. Cool. Yeah, there's so many opportunities. And I'd also, shameless plug for the theater department, we get girls from all different schools to do the plays and the musicals, so tons and tons of opportunities to meet girls around.
Some structured, some not. So a couple questions about cell phones. So we are a cell phone free school. When guys get here in the morning, we ask that they put it in their backpack and it stays there until the end of the day. And we did that not, there's always the temptation to be on the phone in case you're looking for an answer. But truly, we did that because we wanted kids and guys to start to socialize more and more. What we were finding is last year we had you turned your cell phone in at the beginning of each class, put it in a little caddy, and then grabbed it on the way out. But as they walked out of class, back on the phone. So what we've done is no cell phones. And I have to tell you, when you'll see it if you walk around, my office sits outside the student commons. And my God, is it annoying not having cell phones. They make so much noise now because they're actually talking to each other rather than just playing some games or something like that. But no, we are a cell phone free school. And I think, yeah, you're allowed to use earphones at certain spots in the school for whether it's educational or just relaxing purposes. But when in the kind of common areas, even outside, it should be no cell phones, no headphones, no anything like that. What would you say, going back, what would you say is the greatest benefit of going to an all-boys school?
I'd say no distractions. Yeah, you have more friends, I guess. There's no, like I said, there's no distractions, and you can just focus on your work, focus on girls outside of school, and it just helps you focus more on your classes.
Yeah, adding on to that, a lot less distractions and probably a lot less drama too. Like, you're not fighting over the same girl. But yeah, I think it also, I don't know, I have 3 sisters. I don't have any brothers. And so I think that's what called to me the most, was that it was all boys. So kind of getting that like brotherly feeling for anyone that doesn't have any brothers. So yeah.
So one of the words you're going to hear if you all are looking at other all-boys schools is this idea of brotherhood. And a couple questions. What makes brotherhood here at Delbarton? You guys already mentioned it a little bit, but compared to some of the other schools that you know about or have heard about, what makes Delbarton Brotherhood unique or different from other schools?
One thing about the Delbarton Brotherhood, it's really, you get to know so many people very well through your classes and also everything that you do outside of school. And it's more than just like making a joke and busting each other's chops every now and then. It's really, your brothers care about you a lot. I'll never forget one time I was preparing for a debate tournament. I had a tournament the next day, and I was struggling a little bit with this one thing that I had to do. And one student actually stayed on call with me and tried to help me through how to go through something or how exactly to orient that form of debate. And so I think that it's more than just joking around with other people. It's really something where everyone cares about you, and it's just something that you don't get at other schools. You really form a bond with everyone that you talk with, get to know through school and your other activities, and it's really something that if I were in your shoes again and I had all different types of opportunities, I would still choose Delbarton for that reason.
I'd start off by saying that it is real. It's not just a buzzword. Some people come, like, applying here, they like to think, oh, they say the brotherhood, whatever the heck that means. It's not a buzzword. It is so real. Like, the brotherhood is getting lit in the pit playing Seton Hall in a football game. The brotherhood is falling asleep studying bio with one of your friends at 12 o'clock at night. The brotherhood is exemplified in so many different aspects of life at school and outside of school. You make these friends here, you'll carry them on throughout life, throughout college, throughout the rest of your life. I know there are so many alums that work here. Why do you think they came back? Why? They came back because it is an amazing place and the brotherhood is real.
Question about faith. How has the school either helped change, grow, or taught you more about faith? Your faith in general.
So I come from a Christian family, and we went to church when I was probably 4, and I think that was the last time I went to church. But Delbarton has made me a lot closer with God, and just learning about the Catholic teachings, it's just fascinating. Going to Mass, it's beautiful over there. I love it. And yeah, it'll keep you a lot closer with God. And so, yeah.
Like Father Michael was just talking about, our Catholic identity is ingrained into our school, but at the same time, we're very accepting of other faiths. I would even say you can just look to the fact that in our curriculum requirements, we require that every student needs to take 4 credits of theology before they graduate. But beyond that, there are also the mandatory retreats that every student has to go on, and it's a great time to bond with your friends. And, well, when you're not horsing around, it's really a great time to be able to grow closer to God and really the people who moderate it and the things that you do. I know the sophomores go to Camden and do a lot of great service there to help everyone out. It's really just a great opportunity to bring you closer to God, whatever that may mean to you. Everyone's different in their faith and spiritual practices, but however that works for you, Delbarton does help you grow spiritually.
Kind of like Jake said, you take a religion class every year and you learn so much, and I didn't really understand any of the Bible, and then I had my religion class, and now I can understand what's being said during Mass, during the Bible, during the Gospel and the readings, and so overall it made me a more religious person.
Yeah, I would say, so I'm not Catholic, I'm Hindu. So I would say that Delbarton, although it's a Catholic school, it's helped me grow my faith with God as well. Just seeing how religious people are, how religious the Catholic faith is, has made me more religious throughout my 4 years. And also I'd say the retreats are also a great way to like connect with your friends, form bonds with people. I know the Kairos retreat, which is the junior year retreat, it made me so much closer with my brothers in my group, and that was probably the most impactful religious thing that I've done at Delbarton.
Yeah, everybody kind of summed it up pretty well. So I was raised Catholic. I used to go to church every single week. I think when COVID happened, it sort of slowed down a little bit. But at Delbarton, there is early mass before school starts every single day of the week in the chapel in Trinity Hall. There are also confessions on Tuesday. Is that right? Tuesday morning? Yeah, so that is also a great thing. So you get to confess. There are a bunch of different opportunities. We have monthly mass. That's it's not monthly, but it's regular mass. It's scheduled for a suit and tie. You walk up to the Abbey, and it's really beautiful. You got a lot of students singing, so it's nice to see, and it's really beautiful. Yeah, Delbarton is a Catholic school.
A couple questions about the school day. First, what's a class you would suggest taking, and what's a class you might suggest thinking twice about? And why? And why?
When you're you don't really have that many options when you're a freshman, right?
No.
Yeah, so you got to do what you're told to do for classes for that. But when you're a sophomore, you have a little more leeway. I took AP Seminar, which is AP English. That's a really good class to take. It's just English, but a little harder. And do not do AP World. I do not do it. My friends that are in it, they complain to me every day about it. They have about 20 pages of reading a night, I think, and lots and lots of essays. So yeah, steer clear of that if you can.
I was actually going to disagree there.
Yes, I told you.
I took AP World sophomore year. Yeah, it was a lot of work, but you don't really remember all the work. You remember how much fun you had in that class. But what I wouldn't take is AP Euro again in senior year, because it's Mr. Thompson is teaching that class, but it's the same work, and once the second semester hits, you don't want to do any of that work. So.
Mr. Thompson is one of our legendary teachers here, and you may have, if you attended any of the summer school programs, you might have heard from him, or you might have been fortunate enough to have him in class, but he is a legend here. So in terms of the school day, what's your school day like? We started at 8, we ended at 2:45. What are the classes like? What's kind of the flow of your day?
First thing we do, vending machines, coffee. After we've done that, first class, you have 2 classes before homeroom, which is really a time where you can do some of your work, get your homework done, but a lot of the time we'll have advisory. That's a program we have for all 9th through 11th graders, where really you'll have a homeroom teacher and they'll do activities with you periodically. I think it's like every 2 weeks we have advisory. And so just helping you to grow as a person, figuring out what you're doing with your life, trying to orient yourself. And I think it's especially powerful for the 9th graders if you're just getting used to the school. But after that, we'll have one more class, and then it's lunch period, which is almost a longer period where you'll rotate in terms of where you go to lunch, and then you'll have class right after that. It'll be adjacent to the time you go to lunch. And then after that, 2 more periods, and your day is done. It's 8 to 2:45, and our schedule is a rotating schedule, so the class that you have in the morning, you're not always going to have that class in the morning. It's a system that we have at the school. You get used to it pretty quickly. But I think that that's definitely good because it minimizes the classes that you're decaffeinated for. So you get to rotate what classes you have in the morning so that hopefully for some classes you have a little bit more energy than what you do in the morning. So for me, that's definitely a good system.
I guess he explained the school day pretty well. So I'd say after school at 2:45, I'd get someone to drive me to the soccer field, and we'd have practice from 3:15 to like 5:30. And then I'd come home, I'd probably eat something and get my work done from like 6 to 10. And then I'd go to sleep and I'd wake up and do the same thing again.
So one of the questions is, what systems are in place for extra help?
I know for the freshmen, there's this thing called study skills. That's a mandatory thing they put in your schedule for a semester. And so basically, I'm pretty sure it's with Coach Flynn. You basically are in a room and you're just learning like different types of ways to study and different strategies to help retain the information, just remember it. And I have ADHD, and when I did it last year, it helped me a lot. It just helped me focus, so yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the teachers are really helpful here. You can get outside help from them whenever. They're always available for you. And also, there's a lot of peer tutoring. So I'm a math peer tutor. So sometimes during homeroom or something, I'll tutor one of the younger students in whatever math class they're in. And also, I know that I call my friends and my friends call me late at night when we don't understand something in like a class, and we stay up all night like studying for it. So yeah.
Not that late. There's that just world history that you're staying up that late to study for. We also have, and when I said they addressed it loosely, but we have an academic resource center. So as you walk around today, it's where the forensics program will be, but that is manned. Every period has at least 4 teachers in that at all times, so 2 humanities and 2 kind of STEM teachers, so kids can drop in with any questions. It's right next to Student Commons and in between the library, so it's right there for them. And they mentioned, Dre, you said Mr. Flynn?
Yeah, Coach
right.
Flynn.
So Mr. Flynn is our coordinates all of our academic resource programs. He's an English teacher by experience, but specializes with kind of the learning plans that exist here and helping those students succeed once they're in the building. A couple questions about college. So how does college admissions process work? Where do the kids go to school? What schools are very popular? I'm going to deflect most of those questions to our college counseling team. They're going to be in the Hayes room over in St. Benedict's Hall, but generally speaking, we'll have kind of seminar workshops each year with our guidance team to kind of help plan things out. Junior year is when the students first meet with their college counselors, and then senior year, it all becomes real. We had roughly about 140 kids graduate last year. We sent them to over 70 different colleges. So it's not any one college. We're going to help you find the school that's best for you once you get to that point. What kinds of community outreach or Catholic outreach programs are offered here?
One thing we'll do, there are a lot of different programs that you can be involved in, but I know that there's a program that goes every Thursday. You'll go to, I think, a community center where you can help people who are disabled or might be socially challenged in some way. I know a few people who do that. I'm blanking on the name though, but I know that it's really, they always talk about how they are able to connect with people that they wouldn't have otherwise have known and help them with basic things like doing homework with them or maybe just playing a basketball game with them. But other than weekly activities that run, there are also a bunch of annual retreat and service opportunities that we host, such as, I think I've mentioned the Christmas toy drive, the Solidarity Sleep Out, other fundraising events that we do just to give back to the community. Because we are all very fortunate to be here, but nonetheless, we never forget those who might not be as fortunate as us, and we're always trying to give back.
Is Epic? Is that what it is?
Epic, that was it.
Yeah, I've heard of that. But on Fridays, there's this thing called Tops, and the soccer team does it. You're basically playing with soccer with kids with mental and physical disabilities, and it's just a really good time. You're just hanging out, having fun. And there's also a lot of foreign exchange stuff. Like this June, I went to Africa for 2 weeks, and I went to help out in Kenya, and that was lots of fun. So they travel all over the world. So yeah, you can get involved a lot.
Yeah, something that I'm personally involved in is Acing Autism. So that's on Fridays in the fall and the spring. We just finished up our last fall Acing Autism. So you go down to the courts and you literally just teach kids with autism how to play tennis, and you play with them for an hour and a half. It's so much fun. It's such a rewarding experience. Like, it's such a joyous thing. They're all smiling. It's really beautiful to see. It's these kids who can sometimes be neglected, and you are putting all your attention and time and focus into them for an hour and a half and playing tennis, and they are so happy. So that's something I've personally done.
All right. So we're about to wrap up. If you could give one piece of advice in one sentence or less to anyone sitting out here, what would that piece of advice be?
Can you say that again?
What is one piece of advice you'd give to any of the young men sitting out here in one sentence or less?
I would say freshman year, get involved. My freshman year, I didn't really do anything, and that's one of my biggest regrets. So I would say get involved with the community, get involved in anything you can do, and don't leave at 2:45.
That was 4 sentences.
Yeah, also following that, also get involved. You're gonna regret not doing a lot of stuff. And I also think doing a bunch of stuff your freshman year will kind of help dwindle down like what you want to do when you're in college. So if you do a bunch of stuff, you'll be able to eliminate easy things and just slowly start narrowing it down.
Work hard and put yourself out there.
He follows directions.
Have good time management and get involved.
I'd say probably just pick a school where you feel that you belong. If you're here, you're probably looking at a bunch of places, but go where you feel like you belong.
Thank you, guys. So that's going to wrap up this portion of the program. We are going to, I'm going to send you on your way to tour the campus. Some areas that you may want to explore. Like I said, College Guidance is over in St. Benedict's Hall. The Science Pavilion will have most of our science classes. Some of the humanities, languages will be in Trinity Hall. Athletics, we are running shuttles down to the Pizzo Field, Family Fieldhouse, or you can take a walk on this day, a gorgeous day. In this building, you can stop by our alumni network and mentoring program. We do some pretty impressive things there the arts are on the 3rd floor. That's visual arts. And it's really just kind of create your own adventure. I invite you to go pretty much anywhere you would like. These guys are going to hang out for a little bit. I'll be around most of the day. We'll be inviting you to some more community events as we get forward. But once again, thank you everyone for coming. Enjoy the day. And guys, fantastic job. There's roughly 600 people here right now, so well done.